Let's see. Samuel says, hi, David. Do you think the bottom is in for the S&P? Seems like we are staying above 4,200. We are staying above 4,200, and 4,260 was the original 6-month downside target that we had talked about, from the 6-month top of last year that we forecast. And they're doing well, and they should go higher into today and tomorrow, like I said, today and Monday. They're in pretty good shape, but we're not quite ready. We do have a forecast for a specific date in the future that they'll be actually quite a bit higher if they're really done. And that's the trick right now, is that we aren't really 100% sure. And instead of me saying, but I don't want to miss that move, so I better get in now, which is what people in the markets think like, I'm more interested in being sure that the market is really going to that number and then getting whatever remains in that trade than I am in worried about missing the move. So when I finally do get in, I want to have every reason to believe that I've gotten it correct. I'm not dealing with the fear of missing out. That's kindergarten thinking, but a lot of people stay at that level for a long time. So we do have to address our mindsets when it comes to the markets. Let's see. So right now, we're just not sure. Honestly, we're just not sure. There's a certain level that if the market closes above, particularly next week on let's say Monday, that we're going to be much more anxious anxious isn't the best word, but we're going to be much more interested in putting trades together to the upside. And you can take a trial and check out what it is that we're talking about, because we'll put all that information out in our meetings. Thank you, Samuel. Peter's here, and he says, what daily, weekly close is bullish for the S&P today? Closing above 43, 25, 26 is the basis, is the most beginning thing that lets the market be in an uptrend temporarily. Closing above 43, 38 is a better version of that. So that's something that we may see today. But there still is a final piece that we would need to know that this bigger force is really in play to the upside. Otherwise, we're going to deal with a February monthly bottom. So we're trying to get to the point where we have certainty that the weekly bottom that occurred sort of simultaneously with the triggering of the monthly in reflected wave terms, that weekly bottom really is in. Let's get back to the S&P. And I know you have something in your mind, because I know you well, Rhonda, and I know that you are thinking, let's just say that we do something like this. And Rhonda's asking, hey, even if we do that, that isn't necessarily the end of a trend. Couldn't we do, and Rhonda, you tell me if this is not what you're saying, couldn't we do this and make new lows? And the answer is yes, we could do that and make new lows. I mean, absolutely, yes, that could happen. So we don't right now have a forecast for that, but I can tell you this: over the weekend, tomorrow I'm going to take some really good slow down time and really kind of update everything that I have to really get it all together, because you get kind of flustered by the time we get into the second half of Friday, and sometimes even the second half of Wednesday. I'm kind of already loopy from doing this, the intensity of it, but by Friday, no doubt. So I want to really get my head clear and just take a look and see if we have any forecasts. And if we do, Rhonda, you're in our meetings and you'll know. I'll make it very clear if I think that's going to happen. And it should be good. But I have known you in the past too. If you're pointing things out, you do believe that may be what's going to happen. And I kind of interpret that as a forecast from you. It'll be interesting. But we don't, Rhonda, I want to tell you that we're not even sure yet that we will have that move, right? We don't have that confirmation yet. And we could have the move do this, right? We could be from here, we could be going down to new lows, right? So, or I'm not saying just this exact price, but I'm just roughly roughing it out, saying, hey, we might stumble at an important level and then go to make new lows. It doesn't even have to go up there. So you are correct that those are options for the market to do. And our work is to figure out which ones are least likely going to happen. And very much like Sherlock Holmes, you're left with the truth of what likely is going to happen.